What's up, castaways? Miles Away here. So due to the great response I received on my last synth video where I compare the Prologue to the Summit, I decided I'm going to do another synth video here. So today we're going to compare two of my absolute favorite synths, the Moog Matriarch and the Korg Prologue. So take a listen, see which one you guys like better. This is in no way a scientific comparison, but yeah, if you like this kind of content, give me a subscribe, give me a like, it really helps the channel grow, and let's get started. Alright, so we'll start by initializing a patch on the Moog. So we're just doing a full saw wave basic patch, nothing fancy. It's going to sound like this. Really great sounding saw waves. By the way, for the video here, I am going to be using the low frequency compressor on the Prologue to get it closer to that Moog sound, that Moog beefy style of oscillator. So comparing the two saw wave oscillators, they sound like this. You'll notice right away the Moog is a little bit darker, the Prologue is a little bit brighter, and also the Moog, the oscillators are tuned independently, so you have to start by tuning the oscillators each time you use it. The Prologue oscillators, I really do think they're underrated. They have some of the warmest but still punchiest sound of any oscillator I've heard, and really I think it's because they're VCOs, but I believe they are going to be tuned digitally by the software at the beginning, so they're quite stable now with the new firmware update, but they still are able to sound really warm and analog. Totally different sounds. Let me know which one you guys prefer. I honestly don't know. They sound amazing together. Moving on, let's put some filtering in there. So this is without any resonance. We're gonna sound like this. Just an amazing filter on the Moog. Really sounds phenomenal. Now on to the Prologue. at 50% each. Now here I think is where there's a clear winner. I really think that the filter on the Prologue is nice, but the filter on the Moog Matriarch is really something special, and we haven't even gotten into the stereo capabilities yet. Just listen to that Moog sound, that brassiness it's unbelievable. Amazing. Still sounds really good, and I do find that the Prologue's filter is a little bit less thick, so it does probably make it a little bit easier to mix if you're trying to do like a light pad or something. The Matriarch really takes up a ton of room in the mix because of how fat it sounds. So listen to that low end sweep. All right, now we're gonna bring in some resonance. So to start off, we'll compare the two just at 50% resonance. Lovely resonance. Now characteristically the low end drops away because it's a ladder filter. With the Prologue we've got that kind of distorted, almost MS-20 style growly filter. Just listen to how much gain you lose when you turn up the resonance. But we can offset that by turning up our oscillators in the mixer section. The Moog has a 24 per octave dB filter, which is going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more resonant. It's actually a self-resonant filter. Surprisingly, the Prologue's 12 dB per octave filter is also self-resonant. So that sounds like this. We can do the same thing on the Moog here. Notice you get two resonant peaks because it's a stereo filter. We'll have to tune those together. I almost hear a little bit of stepping in the sine wave frequency. I'm not sure if that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. I know there's no stepping in the filter when you are playing actual notes and oscillators through it, but it might just be picking up the individual harmonics of different sine waves. Alright, moving on, let's check out some squares with pulse width modulation. Always a favorite on this channel. So let's grab in mono mode to switch things up here, and we'll get a fat square bass. Awesome sounding square wave here. Here I almost hear the opposite. I feel like the Prologue is a lot kind of smushier and not as bright and punchy, whereas the Moog square wave is just, it's unbeatable. Add in some pulse width modulation. The difference is really striking here. I think if you're looking for a synth that has a really great square wave where you're going to be doing lots of stuff with pulse width modulation and lots of big square basses, I'd go for the Moog over the Prologue. Alright, next up, let's try making a plucky bass using this principle. So we'll take a square wave as well as a couple saw waves, and we'll put them through the filter and see if we can make a plucky bass, see how the two compare for basses. Just one square wave through a filter already sounds that good. No contest. Let's make those volumes a little bit more equal here. Just listen to that low end punch. Unbelievable. Just the Moog, again, for basses. Amazing. You can't beat it. It's one of a kind. Cool. Moving on, let's do a respace. So we're going to be doing a square wave on the sub bass and then 2 detuned saw waves over top. Let's see how that sounds. Listen to that Moog richness. It's just incredible. Add a little bit of glide. A little bit of resonance. That's going to be pretty hard to beat, but we'll try here. Here we're going to make use of a digital oscillator as the second sine wave to detune. Sounding pretty good. Add in the glide. Again, here's where the 24 dB per octave filter really makes a difference. You notice with the Prologue, a lot of the high end is coming through, whereas with this one, you just get that wonderful brassy tone from the filter cutting off everything above a certain hertz. One thing that the Prologue can do, which the Moog can't, is it can make a trick where it layers up sub-frequencies underneath, which can sound really awesome. That'll sound like this. That's a lot of oscillators. It's a totally different sound now, but it's an amazing trick that the Moog definitely can't do. Especially if we open up the filter, sounds incredible. Awesome. poison. They both sound awesome to me. Alright, so for the final sound here, just a short video today, we're going to try something a little bit more chill, some kind of dreamy plucks that I would use in one of my tracks underneath a vocal or during a breakdown. So for that, we're going to use triangle waves. I love using triangle waves for my plucks because they have a little bit more information than a sine wave, but they aren't so harmonically rich like a square or a saw, and they just sound really great for making pluck sounds. So with that being said, we've initialized the matriarch. Oh, no, we haven't. I lied. So we've initialized the matriarch. We're going to just get a basic triangle wave. Beautiful. So we might have to turn up the drive a little bit to get a little bit more gain out of these guys. But not too much gain. We don't want it to distort. Add in the envelope for the pluck. Awesome, we're gonna add in a little bit of delay and release. Beautiful. One more step here, and we're going to do this on both and see how it sounds. We're going to add a slow LFO on pitch modulation to give that kind of dreamy quality that we like. You guys probably weren't sure while I was designing that one if it would turn out well, right? But here you go. One of my absolute favorite sounds to design on the Matriarch. It's just one of the most simply beautiful sounds in my opinion. This triangle pluck going through a bit of pitch modulation and a nice Moog ladder filter. Amazing sound. Let's see if we can get close on the Prologue. So, as before, we'll go to triangle wave. Now, I really love the Prologue's triangle wave, whereas the square I'm not the biggest fan. The triangle wave is really nice, honestly, arguably nicer than the Moog triangle wave. It's got a really bell-like tone, and here the 12 dB per octave filter doesn't matter as much because you've got less harmonic content to play with and less that the filter needs to chop off. We also get to take advantage of the fact that here it's fully polyphonic, which means that it's not going to reset the filter every time we press a note. Legitimate polyphony. So last step here before we turn on delay, and this is a trick that the Moog can't do, we're going to turn off the LFO sync. So we're going to get an LFO per voice, which adds a really cool dreamy sound because each different note we play will have its own unique polyphonic LFO. That is something that is miles more advanced than the Moog can do here, so we'll take advantage of it. You hear how the different LFOs are going on at different speeds? Now we're getting somewhere. Add a bit of reverb. Getting pretty close. Pretend someone that could actually play the piano was playing this, not me. Alright guys, that brings it to a close. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know which one you guys like the sound of more. For me, you guys already know me from this channel. I love the Moog Matriarch. The Prologue is a fantastic synth, but nothing for me will ever beat that Moog sound. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.